Hello there, people, and welcome to. Keep getting this. Welcome to Ghost World. Okay, so today I'm here in Kenmare. The two bridges are. This sucks. I have to use this phone up this way, and what I like is and there's no pause button on it, which sucks too. Okay, this here, you can see, you have to get a stick to a pointer. This whole bay, right, this whole area. Okay, you're going to have to bear with me because it's hard to explain this. This channel, you see where I'm standing, right? This is interesting too. This thing here is there's a corresponding one over there. So this channel is for, you have a whale up on top of this channel, and then you slice underneath, and all the guts and stuff fall into this here, right? And eventually the blood runs out and runs down through. Now, there's another here, you can see this to there, that is where the head of the creature rests, and that is the tail. So that's another place for another whale, right? Because look at the size of it, it's big. Okay, this one here, this slipway here type thing is again for another. Right, the whole thing, the whole area I'm going to walk now with you for is all to do with the whaling industry, the ancient whaling industry. And down there in the water, it's actually quite deep there, because the river, the flow, I guess, keeps it deep. But this is here is deep, you know. It's at least 10 feet deep, maybe 20 feet deep, just there. And this is the tide out, so you can, you know. Okay, so that's the start. There's so much to talk about, but so little time. I'm going to try and keep this down to like half an hour. I should be jogging and running, but I will be shortly. Don't you worry. Okay, so you can see this channel. You know? And that there's a distance, there's some kind of a definite distance from that rock. Oop. This rock here to that rock over there. The two of them have, it's like a measurement of some kind, and they're very similar in can you see that? They're very similar in characteristics, the way they're sort of, right, and it runs from there over to there. Okay, so we go this way. There is a walkway, you'll see it shortly, that they're trying to stop people using. I think they want to. The English people who own the Sheen Falls, perhaps the Lansdowne, are trying to reclaim this land as their own again, because it's worth millions, you know. Right, where am I? Not much here to. Oh, I'd like to point out the way so that you can see the water comes in, and it does it again and again all along this particular channel. There's like a, yeah, I don't really want to go into You know, basically, a long time ago we were conquered by the English, and they stole our land, and they still consider it theirs, possibly through the law of force majeure or some bullshit like that. Even though we're a republic, that's a joke, but they still consider that they own our land. It's frightening, really. I didn't think I was going to get into politics, but talking about our ancient whaling industry. Sorry about this now. I should have took the pathway, it would have been much faster. Okay, again, another sort of an inlet here. There's a bunch of them, it's all repeated. Here's the pathway here. Alright. Oh. Yeah. We've been conquered and conquered again so many times through history, but it looks of it. Okay, you can see this one, and it all slots in. I don't know exactly yet. Perhaps for boats. Perhaps they bring each whale to each corresponding area. It's a very interesting one down here. It's kind of shaped like the inside of a whale, or like it's, I don't know, you see now, it's that big cliff. It sort of comes to an end. Jesus. This here, check this out. It's really you see the shape of this? It's like it's curved. It's like the inside of a whale. It's hard to explain. It's all sort of smooth and whoa, slippery today. And then you've got, it looks like the back of a creature. But this whole thing is it's got that whole motion. Anyway, I haven't quite figured out this whole piece. It's still a mystery to me. Let's continue on, shall we? I'll go this way. There's also a slope down this way. A perfect kind of slope to the whole area. Actually, you can see it's like channeled and it runs down. Well, it's a lot of rain. It's a bit slippery from making this fit. Oh, there we go. So this is like a big slipway for. These are very. You're going to see these quite a bit. There's one flat stone in the bigger one. They crop up. There's another one on the opposite. See this ridge here? It's like the back of. It looks like a humpback whale's back, especially in the water. When the high tide comes in, or mid tide, it just sits on its own. There's another of those two stones right opposite. We're going down there anyway. So. Okay, see this channel here? This, I'm pretty sure about this now, so that is the shape of a liver or something belonging to the whale. Right, the whole thing, this is they have two here back to back. Again, this is something very similar. There's a place to this outline of water looks a bit like a shark, perhaps, but that's a place to leave something valuable belonging to the whale. That ridge there is for standing on, and the mammal is here, right? It sits in. Now the other one, which is much more, here again you can see this, what goes here, is the blood is channeled out down through there. You know, it's a very slippy industry, the whale industry. You gotta channel all the blood and guts and all that stuff away, or you'd be swimming it up to your ankle, up to your elbows, as we say. Now this one is very interesting. I find it's something big. You see this here down to the water's edge. Shit, I keep holding this wrong way around. Oh, have I been doing that the whole way? Oh no. And then it comes up. Right, the whole thing is I'm not sure what these are. Did they leave the creature on top of it to keep some air underneath her? You know, so it doesn't get all destroyed and mucky. Or was it to tie on to the tail and wrap around and wrap onto this? I don't know. I haven't decided that one either. It's still up for discussion in my brain. This one, again, there's a pool here that looks kind of like a fish with a fin. You know, it's got that. And this, I think it was the heart of the creature, was put there. It would be cut out here and left there, and then everything would, the blood of it would run down into this and fill here and run on its way. Or perhaps they wanted to save whatever was coming out of this, was to be saved in here. I don't know. You know, back then they would have used every single piece of the creature for, you know, there'd be no waste. Okay, we shall continue on. Right, so this, so you can see the way it's all. And so the creature's up here, right up this height. So you've cut out, you reach in and take out. It has its ribs and everything been opened somewhere along the way, and then you put up there, and then the blood flowing off it flows down here, and it's all like sacred and special. Actually, when standing here, you see that the side of the creature is like up against this whole thing. And so you'd be standing here, you know, the whole animal would be like sitting here, and this, you can see how it's like all down, right? On we go. Yes, there's more, much more. So there's loads of them. Whoa! I'm wearing the wrong shoes for this field as well. Yeah, again, there's places to put. This is an interesting shape of like a head or something. But there's places to you can put things, and then for places for the runoff to run off. Oh yeah. Alright. So again you've got the creature down here. So it's still suspended, so you know, to keep it all clean too, keeping it up from the ground, because you're working on. And I don't know enough about the whaling industry, about whale oil, how did they get all that. There's some interesting stuff here, very interesting thing. And again, there's a similar, this rock has got a similar shape to the one down at the beginning. It's got that round and like a measurement of sorts. I'm not really used to using this fit either. It seems to be that you have to point it sort of downwards to get. It's an interesting big rock here. Again, the water here, it's not quite as deep as down there, but it's still just something. It's deepish, but it's only a couple of feet there now. Oh, this here is you can see where this is like a whole seat, and that there is a footrest. Right? And here you've got right down to the end. Jesus. Here you've got can't really make. Okay. Right down there you've got like a rope that can come all the way from here through here, right? And you're here with your sitting on this, with your foot resting on that. Right? It's absolutely perfect. And you're sitting here, and the rope is connected to the creature's tail or wherever, whatever way they do it. And so you're like pulling, and there's a bunch of guys there behind you pulling along the rope. And this one is for the whoever it is to this guy's at the start of the whole thing and giving the. Although there are places down here for people possibly to be lying to be pulling on a rope also. I think this was for way down there, for that slipway, and for the subsequent. You pull it, and then you do what and then you pull it along, and you do what you want, and then you pull it along, and that's it. And you've got it all sort of taken apart, and I guess it goes over the edge again. I don't really want to do much. So I can get down here. Show you this is what I'm talking about, this gap here. And it continues on to that gap there. And right through. I'll go up and show you more. Again, there's just like these all along, there's these stepping places for whatever. Okay. Run. Come on, Spirit. Hey, come on, Spirit. Yeah, this would be where the guys would be pulling along. And this here is too dark for that. It looks like the body of a fish. It's dark looking. See this hole? It's like the whole thing's. Well, it looks like there's something out there. I haven't figured out either. And it's quite unusual because it's all on its own. It's just rocks sitting out over the edge. obviously I don't have all the answers. So but this is kind of where to mention it. It's all on its own. It's like a little island that sits out in its dam. I don't want to climb down there because it's going to take minutes. There's some nice stuff to it. Maybe if I was in the next position, I'd be able to point and show you what I'm. There are some important things in it. With this, which is an interesting little piece of art. Art being an Irish word, translated into English, you come with stone. Stone is the English word for art. Okay, we shall move on. Jesus. Jesus. Beautiful forest here. If anyone's thinking of coming to visit, it's just I'll come back up that way. I can sway it from this. Because piece that sits out on its own. I haven't really figured out what it is yet. Oh, spirit! Yeah, so it just sits out there. Do that a bit slower. That kind of sits out there too a bit. This, I mean, it's all flat, and this whole thing is just out there. It's quite weird. Untouched. All this is pretty much, I think, untouched since the day it was created, except for the seaweed. I don't know if it ever had seaweed when it was, because it would have been a hive of activity. So So, yeah, again, well, yeah, we've got more here. Oh, I wanted to show you the little waterfall. I'm going to go that way, so I'll just go. Beautiful little waterfall here. Nice stepping stones. And again, stepping stones here. The water runs down through here, down to there. It just came from there, obviously. Right. Yeah. Okay, where are we? Well, this is another channel. When the tide comes up, this becomes a very interesting channel also. There's a whole lot of things here. You see the way it comes in there, and like you can moor in there. You know, it's all interlinked with itself. The whole thing is designed from a particular point of view. Well, of course, the people that created it seemed to have lots of things going on at the same time. There was different dimensions to all their work. Look at this piece of wood too, it's lovely. I have a few photos of it. I've been crawling over this so I walk my dogs here all the time. So this piece of stone. I have a piece of stone that I found from somewhere else that it's got the most sharp cutting edge. I'm pretty sure it was to do with cutting through the fat of a whale, because I found it just down there. So it's part of the whole industry that is whaling. Again, this is very interesting. It's quite deep there, and there's a whole system of, you know, you could see someone landing here and just stepping out. And, oh, there's steps up there too. I missed. I should have showed you that. Interesting line. Right, and then when the water comes up, this still remains a very interesting space. I like that rock there. We're going. Oh, should be in adventure runners. Okay. This rock is interesting. I don't know why exactly. And also that square, the way it comes in there, this is all relatively deep here. You know, even with the tide out, let's give you an idea of where we are. Well, you can imagine from up there, because it's like 30 miles away, the Atlantic Ocean. And what I think was going on was that there'd be a certain amount of people waiting in the water for the whales to come up along the Atlantic coast, and the whales would be swimming northwards. This is what I see anyway from, I don't know, maybe from studying pictures and things. I seem to have a spike at home that was used, a wooden spike to blind the whale. So you're out there and the lead whale comes up to you, and the herder following him. I think it's a him anyway, I'm pretty sure. Oh well. Could be matriarchal, but I don't know. So, him or her, the swimmer or the guy in the boat or whatever, the lead whale will come up and they blind the whale on the left eye. So the whale would only be able to see through its right eye, and it would leg it would get out of there. It would be like danger, danger, so it would run. And because the human or the thing that inflicted the pain was right there. Here's another one, by the way. Right, the creature that inflicted pain was there, so it would get away, and instinctually it would turn, but it would want to keep the coastline on its, you know, because it was running away. It would want to keep the coastline there. But what it thought was the coastline, because it could only see through its right eye, would be in fact this channel here, this side of the channel, and it'd be like running down in here, thinking all the time, because it wouldn't see that piece of land over there. It'd only see, and it would think that it was running along the channel, running along the coast of the Atlantic, out of Ireland, still in the Atlantic Ocean, when all the time, and it would run down here. Now there's some sand here that it would have to maneuver over. So, you know, even if it got to here and realised that it was trapped, it would be still trapped, because there's sandbanks out there that it would have swam over, and too late. But down there's also a place where you could block it off, where you could pushed them all the way down into a place called Ringnagrass, and it's only a very short, just at the bridge there you can see it's a short distance, and they'd be trapped in there. Then you could just put something down like that, you'd have them trapped, and then take them out and gut them. And here's another one where you can see it's like smooth, and the whole animal could be pulled up here to extract or dismember or whatever part of the factory this is all about. It's this whole thing. We're going up to there, so we've another like 10 minutes. Skates on, says you. Oh, and here's another, see this? It's the same stone, and the stone, maybe a rope, so they could have tied up here and just floating along there in that channel with it tied in. There's an interesting stone, piece of wood there too. Let's make that up. Alright. Spirit, she's so funny. This guy's here. Waiting beside the master. But she's the older of the two, so maybe that's something to do with it. Again, there's another one here that you can see. It's interesting. It's got that sloping down. Yeah, now we're going to go up this way. You know, it's quite complex. Not so easy to explain. And there's always, oh, I should have said this, or I should have went there. Especially when I'm using a camera without a pause button. It complicates things just a little bit. Being in the forest. Oh, I suppose I should show you this from here. Yeah, this is such a perfect little harbour. I'd like to go up. This is an ancient bridge that is extremely ancient. Wow. That is an ancient roadway. And obviously they kept the river, or they wouldn't have built this bridge. So hard to make out. He's standing on it too. Show them what the bridge looks like, so. Right, you can see through it. The water running. No light in this, so can't really hear. Yeah, so it's really, really beautiful. Big, ancient. Doesn't move, doesn't, I mean, it's totally there, it's solid. and that goes up to the main road, not to the mountains and stuff. So I'm going to go on down this way. It seems to be that this, I'll show you the rocks now for like division for cutting up the animal meat, and the trucks, the chariots, the pony and trap, the oxen, whatever will come down here. And you see this here, it's section. This seems to be, what it says to me is that this was a place for, you cut up the, that's where the creature was, you know, you'd bring in like maybe big huge square lumps of meat, bring them up here and then slice into the cart. Well, I guess you walk, don't think they're bringing onto this. This is beautiful, you should see this. When it's high tide, it's just a pool of water, the whole thing is just beautiful. So well, we're just going to go out there to go around and over a waterfall. You'll like it. If you're watching this so far, then you'll like that. Right, so division of meat, carry it into the carts. Don't ask where the carts moved. Or, you know, the whole thing was structured, completely structured. So we can go this way. Right. To the waterfall. It's really beautiful. There's a piece of wood in the middle of it now, so it's not flowing the way it should. "38 minutes. We'll be finished in another 10. Absolutely beautiful. I'll bring you up the stream. Because it is so nice. You can see this little pool up here. It's just beautiful here. Not bad. 40 minutes. Still, although it's a good thing, I guess, because if I had a pause button, I'd be standing and talking about stuff for much longer. Whereas when I'm like this, I'm under pressure, and I got to keep it fast. And, you know, this is a beautiful little house. Really beautiful. There's some cretin here that breaks trees and does stupid things like that there. All designed to say, "Oh, I've been here." It's a continual malicious thing. I have an idea it's those people. They don't want people coming here anymore. They want to fence all this off and keep it for themselves. kind of half the reason I'm making this video right now instead of waiting until next month, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be allowed access to this, even though it's common land, public. They believe they own it. And our authorities, be as they are, they allow them to do such things. That there, I uploaded a photograph of it. It's, when the tide's up, it's like a body lying in the water. There's quite a few of them over here too. That stone out there, it seems that there was wooden decking out here going along. That's a support for one of them, because that sort of high tide is there. You know, back then we're talking like tree trunks and things, you know, not. People have this idea that it was all done on a small scale, but it's just a different time. We had the same brain. Just the Stone Age means that they use stone for their medium. You know, in the Metal Age they use metal. The Plastic Age is plastic. We're using plastic. We haven't really got there yet. We're not building houses and shit out of plastic, but we will be. Give a look at this again. Well, we are kind of using plastics, I guess, for a lot of things. I'm not going down there because it's I only go down there a little bit every now and then. I sort of come around and come to here. It's a nice little walk. You know, I go down there sometimes, but I know the guy that owns that boat, and I know his daughter. They well, that, you know, that's their part of the world. Yeah, no, I've gone down there a few times. Just this is my walk, my haunting, as I've described it. Oh yes, I want to show you something else here. Something really mad. I haven't quite figured it all out yet either. Again, there's this stone with the, you know, that you tie up, and the same shape for the whole. It's still all going on. It hasn't stopped. This is part of the factory. This also is someone lying when the tide's up. From over there, it's a body lying in the water. Human body, by the looks of it. Right, but this here, this flat piece, again, oh yeah, I shouldn't have. Right, so there's a whole lot of things going on here. There's these holes here, right? You can see like there's a funnel to run. It's a runoff, and there's a hole through this. You can see. Yeah. So something was being put through here and ran through, and it was being pulled through and ripped. Right, you see this here, this line? It looks something like that was going up through that hole. Right? And then it would be pulled, intestines or something. I don't know what. You know? Perhaps they were milking bull things here for artificial insemination to create. I don't know. I just know that is, and there's poles, and you can see that the funnel for the runoff for whatever they didn't want to keep, going back in and down, the messy stuff or whatever, really. Because, well, I'm just saying that, but it looks more like right here I found this here. Oh yeah, right. This here is razor sharp. Yeah. Razor sharp. I mean, to this day that is razor sharp. So. Sorry, this phone is hard to use. So that there is absolutely razor sharp. And so you can see and something was being pulled along here. And so it would slice there into separate parts. One part would go that way, and one part would go down through this channel, right, and along, and up through that hole, where it would be pulled apart and clean, so it would be like stripped clean, and whatever it was would pull it through here. Perhaps another part of it went up this way, and there was guys over there, right, standing here, pulling that down this way, and then the flat part there, you can imagine something lying flat, like if they sliced, for instance, if the creature's there and they slice it here, and that piece falls down onto this flat plane, then they can work away with that as they want. Then the other guys can be slicing that through and pulling this whole thing and pulling it up through this hole. So you can see the whole industry, and it's from there around the corner to where we started. And then the other side of the bridge is perhaps where they kept the whole herd. I think I've explained myself pretty close to good now. I didn't explain about this channel here. It's a beautiful, when the tide it comes right up into there, and you can see where there's landing areas to moor boats and a step off just across the other side. Right there, it's like a mooring and a landing area. Just okay. So in ancient Ireland, before the Romans, before the Egyptians, before anybody, in a time when we were shaping the land, shaping the mountains, shaping the, and using stone, creating out of stone, back in the ancient Irish Stone Age, we had factories for the whale industry. And I'm guessing that because the Atlantic and Kenmare would have been an incredibly important area for the exportation of whale oil, whalebone. We could have been living using the rib cages to live in. I was thinking that story of Jonah, he lived in a whale, that it's quite possible that he actually did. They saved the whale cages and whale skin, and perhaps there's no meat underneath that part either. And whatever way they're doing it, they'd skin it, they'd take whatever they needed, keep the rib cage, and just put it upside down, pull the skin back over it, and you've got an instant house. That's absolutely beautiful, waterproof, cozy. So perhaps Jonah did live in a whale. Jonah, you'd have to separate that word and see what it means. I don't know what language. Jonah Irish is a good one. It's very, very ancient. So before the babbling of tongues and God confused mankind and separate different languages, then we all spoke to one. Kind of like where we're going again with English is becoming the universal language of the world. So Gaelic was the universal language a long, long time ago. And so from biblical and ancient texts and stuff, a lot of the translation can be done through the Irish language, through the Gaelic. And then if you translate it into English, you understand what the story was all about. Okay, it's a beautiful day here in Kerry. And are we still under an hour? Are we 50 minutes? Okay. So I think that finishes this game. So, and a little river keeps this here from getting too, keeps it deep-ish, not super deep, but deep-ish here. It's still running boats through it in low tide. I don't want to go now because I had so much fun making this little little movie. Yeah. So for the kids out there watching, Irish kids that have been told that the Irish are just dumb tick paddies. The donkeys, as they called us in America. They still do. It's because we could carry so much weight in our backs and not even break into a sweat, because we love the work. And it's true, Irish people do love the work. It's a good day's work and go home tired is such a fantastic feeling. It's like, God bless the work. It's basically, thank you for giving me work today. Otherwise I'd be sitting on my hole doing nothing. My arse, my anus, my bum. Okay? So, there was lots of things going on in Ireland. Lots and lots and lots of things. From time beyond time. Before records, and we have some really old records in Ireland, there was things going on that we have no real knowledge or understanding of anymore because it goes so far back. But there's things, hopefully I'm going to show you things. I don't want to freak you out too much, but flying machines and other things from ancient times, just knowledge and technology, tiny miniature type things like, today you can paint on the top of a pinhead. You can make pictures. Well, thousands of years ago they could do something very, very similar. Tiny little stuff that you need magnifying glasses and perhaps even a microscope to see. So, that's all. Basically I'm trying to say, that there needs to be a rekindling of the pride of being Irish. Not just for being Irish, but actually knowing what we have here, what kind of a country it is, what kind of a people we always have been. Because, we've been kept down far too long. And then it starts to breed this belief that we really are dumb tick paddies. And I think the Celtic Tiger was good for that, that it got rid of a whole load of stereotypes of Irish. And we started to see ourselves for who we really are once again. And having a bit of pride in our own self. Instead of being told that we're useless and we're worthless and put down. That goes through our society so much from, carried on and repeated through and people being told it and believing it and telling their kids it and then believing it and educating it in their systems and in our laws saying you're not allowed to do that because some guy from some other country said you couldn't. And instead we're reclaiming the Irish psyche of things, the Irish way of doing things. I wrote a poem and the last line is, we're a bit too wild for their civilized style. It's to do with Europe and soon they'll tell us how to feed and tell us how to breed. Soon they'll tell us how to feed, tax the very air we breathe and how to raise our child. But we're a bit too wild for their civilized style. Because this Ireland, we have this, especially the West, but not just especially the West. Ireland itself, we have an idea, and Irish people, we do things our own way, and we're our own people, and we have a sort of a wildness to us that should be cherished, and really, it's just beautiful, there's nothing worse than a society of boring people. It's like, Jesus, spare me! Not Jesus, spare me, Christ, spare me. Because Christ is C-H-R-I-S-T, the beginning of the Church of the Ree, the Sun King. So Christ, spare me would be quite perfect. Isa, Jesus turned into Isa. Or Isa turned into Jesus. Isa would be the fish king. Pisces, don't know about Pisces, but fish anyway. Isa, Christ. I don't know. Again, I'm not quite sure about that. But he is fish. But Christ, the sun being reborn on the 25th of December in the oldest roof building on planet Earth, which is Newgrange, 40 miles north of Dublin. It's got a whole lot to do with it. How did I get onto this subject? Oh, right, from the English invasion. Yeah, those Lansdownes. I met the guy. He was down there and we were talking, him and his wife, and during the conversation I mentioned that the Lansdownes were murderers, basically. They killed everybody. They owned all this whole coastline here, all the mountains and things. And so I was explaining that, well, yeah, obviously they murdered everyone, took what they wanted. And he was like, oh, well, I don't know if that's quite correct. And I was like, well, of course it is, man. Look around you. What do you think? We gave it to you? Here, take my land. No, of course, they just murdered everyone. The sooner, and I said to him, the sooner English people understand and take the responsibility for what they've done, the sooner we can mend fences and go ahead with things as being neighbours instead of being enemies. You don't want to be enemies with your neighbour. No, you just get her. Go. I don't anyway. Because it's no fun. It's so much nicer to just shake hands and get on with your own thing. You don't have to, lick each other's arses, but you don't have to be enemies. You can be friends and go on your own separate sort of things, because obviously we're a separate island to their separate island. And he didn't want to accept the fact that his ancestors had murdered all my people, changed their laws, changed the religion. And, of course it goes back further to Rome, but the English done the same thing. And then because of their thing, the Roman Catholic Church got stronger in this country. That was the backlash which is very sad, because I'd rather see the Irish ancient sun worship coming back, worshipping the planet. Look at the sky, the sun up there, the water, the earth. We're floating, we're spinning around in this huge universe. And the religion of the day is worshipping a guy, a man, who supposedly was God's son, who died for the sins of humanity. The whole thing has been completely corrupted. It all makes sense if you understand it from because I've studied this, but it's been so corrupted that instead of worshipping the sun that keeps it alive, the Roman Church turned it around to worshipping a human. And so they brought it all down to that level so that they could control it all. Because really, the whole point of it is worshipping the sun. It's like worshipping nature. It's like worshipping everything. Seeing God as being in everything. You worship the air you breathe because it keeps, and it's delicious. And worship the water you drink and the sunshine that shines, and the night and the moon that gives you, certain times you can walk in the brightness of nighttime. That's where I'd like to see us going back to. Okay, that's enough, because that's an hour. Okay, thanks for watching. Slán.